Good morning, this is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire, and we're pleased to be with you for another video. I've got a video today to do. I was tagged and asked about my two favorite books on botany. So I want to show you my plant identification botany books that I like the best. Before I get into that, I do want to do a quick announcement. We have a canoe trip coming up September 4th, 5th, and 6th. Going to be out on the Current River in southeastern Missouri. And we'd love to have you join us. We do have a few people that have already signed up. The link is on the web page. So go out to our web page, look under the calendar, and you'll find that trip. And if you're able to make it, we're going to have a great time 3 days out in the bush, canoeing down the river, doing primitive and doing non-primitive skills, fire making, all sorts of different techniques, tips and tricks. So we'd love to have you come visit us. Be with us on that camp if you want to come out. Now, let's get into my two favorite books. I'm going to look at these one at a time real quickly. But these are the two books that I turn to all the time. One is called Botany in a Day by Thomas Elpel. Tom's a good guy, really knows his stuff as far as botany. This book is it was kind of made on paper that comes from a printer. It was just copied. So it's a little raggedy because it's about 14 years old. But it's a great book, and what Tom does is he goes through the plant families. So I'll show you real quickly here what I'm talking about. The first thing he goes through is general characteristics of plants, how to identify plants, different parts of a plant. And it's really, really important and critical. But one of the nice things that Tom does, let me see if I can find right here, for example, is goes through families. This is the mustard family. So Tom will identify all the characteristics of the mustard family. Now there's over 6,000 plants in the mustard family. And again, this is not so much an identification book per individual plant, but tendencies toward the entire family. So if you know the one trait or the two traits of mustard families, then it's going to give you all the information you need to know. Let me say that again. It's called Botany in a Day. It is available online. I highly recommend, if you don't have this book, you get it. It will broaden your scope and your understanding of plants immensely. My second book that I like and I recommend to everyone is the Peterson Guide to Wild Edibles. Okay, a close third in this, I was asked to do two books, would be my Peterson's Guide to Medicinal Plants. So, but the Peterson's guides are great. They show, although they are inline drawings, they're very detailed. They show the characteristics of the plants. They have the different leaf patterns. They show specific things to look for on a plant. That's what these little arrows are. They also show you what the plant is good for. This is a pot herb. This plant, for example, is a salad. Okay? You can also use this plant, pickleweed, this is, for flour. One of the neat things, they do have some color plates of the more popular plants, so you can get a color picture of it. But in the back, it will tell you where to find specific plants. For example, right now I'm in the dry open woods. So in the dry open woods, I can find these different plants. I can run down here, and if I see something, that's going to narrow down my scope of what I'm looking for. What makes that easy is because it's not so easy sometimes to go out there with a plant book and say, hey, you know, I've got this plant and I've got to look through an entire book for it. Well, the first thing I can do is I can come up and I can code and see that the leaves are yellow, or perhaps the leaves are pink or red, or perhaps the leaves are purple or blue. So I can start off there, and that helps a whole lot. But to be able to identify where certain plants grow is a big help. So this is one of the best books I've ever used, coupled along with Botany in a Day. I think this will give you plenty of material to at least get a very good understanding of plants, help you identify what's edible out there. And again, I tell people all the time, identify the poisonous plants in your area. Peterson's Guide to Venomous Animals and Poisonous Plants is a good key to do that. If you can identify the poisonous plants inside and out, there's only 30 or 40 of them probably in your area, then you really don't need to worry as long as you don't touch those plants. or use those plants unless you know how to use them. So I hope that's helped you. My 2 books on what I would carry, what I do carry, what I refer to as reference guides for edibles. We'll see you on another video. Until then, this is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. Hope you have a great day.